All right, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to share just for a few minutes the results of my latest project. Just recently got a 3D printer and decided, hey, why not try a fun project? And so I found a 3D printed ukulele plan on Thingiverse and went ahead and tried to make one. And so you're seeing the end results of that. Great job to the one who designed it, so thank you very much for that. The files were wonderful. But thought I'd take you guys through the instrument and a few of the little things that I noticed and tweaks I made. And if you like, feel free to go ahead and make it yourself because I think you'll enjoy it. So this particular guitar I found on Thingiverse and was able to 3D print it using Protopasta's Protopasta's PETG carbon fiber for the fretboard, and I used the Protopasta's chestnut wood type filler or filament for the body and the bridge and everything else. The purchased parts that I got were, I actually bought a bone bridge and saddle, and also a nut, the tuning keys or machines, strings, the strap pins, as well as a budget piezo transducers for this little ukulele to amp it up. So I'm really liking it, and it seems to play really well and hold a pretty good tune. Strings are still breaking in a little bit, but it seems to work really well. Couple little things, the plans that I got from Thingiverse were very well done. Some of the tweaks I made weren't too crazy. For one, I put some of the fret marker dots in so I could insert some 3D printed dots because I like to see where I'm at. Makes it easy for me. Couple of the other things was this little rosette he had. I inserted another little nice cool design of a tree with the continents on it inside of it, so that kind of makes it look decorative, and I didn't glue this in so it can be popped out, so that's kind of a cool little feature. Also on the bridge, instead of using the 3D printed saddle, I actually purchased a bone one, and I did redesign the original bridge just slightly so that it was flatter on top, which made it seem to kind of print a little better for at least my setup. But the rounded one was very nice that he designed, so that should work as well. But the flat one seemed to suit my purposes a little bit better. And then one thing I did notice was that because the front of the bridge was a little thin, when pressure started being applied to the strings, it started forcing the saddle to bend that part of the bridge forward, so it was losing a tune. So what I did was I 3D printed a little bridge saddle support here, and was able to just loosen the strings and push it all back and glue that in, and that puppy is nice and secure now, not going anywhere. Once I was all done, I carefully assembled it, put it all together, and I stained it with some walnut stain and sprayed it with some Deft semi-gloss lacquer from Ace Hardware. So that was kind of cool, and so it worked out really nice because of the wood filaments. The back of the neck is nice and smooth and even looks like wood. If no one didn't know it was plastic, they'd have no clue. Couple little things. The other thing that I did install, of course, was the piezo pickups. Not a bridge one, but the three little transducer style, and just for 10-15 bucks on Amazon, and they seem to work really well. The little supports on the inside are in great places where you can put one of those, not the small cane case, but the medium-sized ones that you'll find on Amazon seem to fit pretty well. As far as assembly, one of the things I did too, which I loved about his design, is he built it and designed the fretboard so it would accept metal frets. And there is another person who made it to where you could 3D print the frets already included. But I said, hey, why not? Going through this trouble, let's make some metal fret. Let's go ahead and try the metal frets. So I got them installed and super glued. The fret holes were a little too wide for the fret wires that he recommended, but that was okay because they are the perfect size, other than the little channels for them were a little wide and they wanted to tip forward. So that was easily overcome though. I was able to use some tape on both sides stick it down real good and use gel super glue and just kind of hold it in place while I was gluing it initially, and they glued pretty straight when I was done with no issues. Then of course cut and filed the edges and even leveled the frets slightly using some tutorials on YouTube, which worked out really nice. So between that and the custom nuts and saddle, I was able to use some measuring tools and do a little setup on it, some basic setup, and the action on it seems pretty good. When I looked at his measurements, it actually seems to be a great measurements, like it should intonate fairly okay given what it is. And so I still have yet to play with some of that, but so far it seems like it's holding a tune and I'm breaking in my new strings. So without further ado, you probably want to hear it, so let's go ahead and give it a shot here. And we will let you hear some of what it sounds. The volume itself is not super loud, but again, it's a small instrument, but I'd say for what it is, it's actually pretty cool, loud enough to enjoy for myself or someone else. So we'll go ahead and give it a shot here. So here we go. And I'm not a professional uke player by any means, so but at least you can kind of hear what it sounds like. So it sounds pretty good, just with room volume. And again, seems to holds tune pretty well. Now, what about mic'd up? It actually sounds pretty good too there, even with those cheap transducers. So I'm gonna give us a little volume. And I have it plugged into a Mooer G150 so I can change the instruments a little bit. Sounds pretty cool. And a little looping pedal here for fun, so let's give that a shot here. sounds pretty good. And so it was a wonderful project. Enjoyed it very much. And excuse my first video here giving you a little rundown of it, but there's probably a lot more details I missed. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll be happy to answer those for you. And again, thank you to the one who designed the original version of this and made it so easy to make some adjustments. So really having fun with this one. All right, catch you later. Oh wait, don't go yet. So here's a shameless plug though for a little product that I've developed that I did want to share while you're here. Just real quick, it's a custom strap style capo. I call it the Amano guitar capo because Amano in Spanish basically means always by your side. And it works really well, and some of the advantages are, for those of you who like to wear bracelets, that kind of thing, kind of that's your vibe, you can wear it with you to the campfire. Use it for a keychain as well, for your pocket, dog leash, all kinds of stuff. The straps are made of paracord, so you can even use it in a pinch, about 4 feet to in an emergency. Use it for starting a fire, tying something up. You get the picture. And you can always get more paracord and put it back together. But the most important thing is that it works really well, is low profile, and keeps you from having to use that giant cable that gets in the way of your hand. So let me show you real quick while I have you. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it to the 4th fret. We're going to put it through the top loop. We'll go ahead and put it through the bottom loop as well. And I'll get it nice and snug and give it a pull down and a pull up. And just hold it right there and go ahead and put it through like so. And now that it's on there, notice no buzzing. All right, so works wonderful. I love this thing. I use it all the time, and you can hang it from the headstock of your guitar, keep it with you all the time on your instrument, or take it with you, wear it. So if you want more information on that, I'll put a link in the description. Have me a little Etsy store. If I'm running low on stock, just send me a message. I'll make sure to try to make some more. So if you'd like to take a look at that, I'd sure appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great one.